like Sci-Fi. I never have, but I loved V by Kenneth Johnson. So awesome, it's science fiction miniseries for NBC, and this was like a big deal. Like it was the movie of the week. I mean, it's considered one of the greatest television reveals in history. The Diana Rat scene. It's one of the greatest sci-fi things. It spawned a franchise. I mean, not as huge in terms. There was like maybe a blaster toy. I think the alien in his ship had a toy cosplays over the years. It spawned a lot of books. It spawned a really great DC run of comics. It was good. I mean, it was a two-part miniseries, became a three-part miniseries to conclude. It became a regular show. I mean, everything going for it. It was, like I said, it was written and directed by Kenneth Johnson. Now, these first two parts were, I should say this. So it was a Sunday night at the movie. And of course, that's going to end to be continued because, the next night is Monday night at the movies. So we go to Monday night and we're watching it and it ends to be continued. It's like, what the hell is this? And this was before like the internet or anything like that. So you're just sitting there like, what? Is this going to end? Or are we going to ever see any more? You didn't know anything. And then the next year, thank God, came out with Be the Final Battle, which Kenneth Johnson wasn't a part of, but I'll get into that. Right now, though, I want to talk about the first two parts of the original miniseries, which was V. So, for those unfamiliar, V takes place when all these motherships come over all the major cities. We focus primarily on Los Angeles. They position themselves everywhere. People are glued to the news. They're freaked out. Are these aliens coming to kill us? What's going on? Well, after they sit there for a while, and like I said, people are just on the edge of their seats, they send out one of their ambassadors. His name's John. He poses as the leader. And everybody's really shocked because the dude looks just like us. He tells us his planet's dying. They come in peace. He needs a lot of chemicals we have on our planet. And in return, they'll share all our technology. They say all the right things. They reassure everyone. They start fitting all of our kind of chemical plants. The visitors start coming. That's what they call them, to work for them, giving the heroes welcome, so to speak. Everybody just, they love them. They become part of our society. They get action figures, toys. They start a youth movement group. They become friends with just normal people. They even start macking on our women. That's right. These aliens start having sex with some of our ladies. Now, the beastmaster plays Mike Donovan. He thinks something's a little weird with these guys. He can't put his finger on it because there's been missing scientists and stuff. So he sneaks on the ship, try to get some backstage footage for the news. And what he finds out is these are actual reptiles. Like he sees them pop out their eyes. They notice him. They grab him. He gets in a fight. And he tears the skin off of one of them, revealing that it's actually a reptilian creature. Now he's able to do a few quick maneuvers, hop on a ship. He goes to do a broadcast to tell the whole world what's going on, but it gets intercepted by the visitors. And they say, hey, this guy's a traitor to your planet. He means us harm, yada, yada. He's public enemy number one. We're your friends. So everybody turns on him. His girlfriend turns on him. His mom turns on him. They're trying to hunt him down and kill him. Nothing's going his way. I mean, this guy becomes disassociated with everyone, but he knows the truth. They're hunting him down, and they mean to kill him to silence him. But more and more people are starting to realize things ain't always right with these guys. So they're trying to hide from the visitors. Some people are standing up to him. But Julia Parrish leads this resistance group. They find Mike Donovan. He tells them what's going on. They're really aliens. And they decide, well, we're going to stop these people. This is it. This is just a small resistance movement, but we're going to steal some supplies. And, in the beginning, they do a little bit. Julie gets shot in one point, but they fight back. But Mike Donovan gets captured. Diana, the hottest woman on TV at the time, maybe ever, wants to just have him executed. But that's when he learns there's actually this group called the Fifth Column that doesn't agree with what their leader's doing, so they help Donovan escape. Martin is his main one, another one of the very beautiful ladies. And Martin tells him, he says, hey, look, we're not here to help you. We're here to rape your planet. We are stealing your water. We're stealing like 1 million gallons a minute. We're going to drain it dry. And all these people that are going missing, well, we're taking them. We're taking all these people, we're cocooning them. That's going to be our food. And he shows just this whole giant area of the mothership that's filled with nothing but people. While that's going on, the resistance, they're starting to kind of fight back, and they come up with the V slogan. And that's V for victory. So that was V. Now, like I said, we didn't know it was coming back, but it did. Lo and behold, V comes back. And it comes back. The first one ends where Elias and Julie, they send off this signal. Because they remember hearing the visitors say, hey, we got some enemies. And everybody has enemies. So they send out a signal, and they're hoping that one of these enemies or somebody else is going to pick up this signal, and they're going to come to Earth to help them. Because that was originally Kenneth Johnson's idea, which he did write in a book called V, the Second Generation. Well, instead, the studio was like, it's kind of boring. And Robin, this red-headed girl, you saw her in the clips as she was having some sex with an alien. Well, she's pregnant. Now, they threw all this out the window. Well, they left her being pregnant, but this signal, that went nowhere. So what happened is, and I'm going to do this a little different. I'm going to take into consideration the people that have not seen this, so I'm not going to give away the ending. But right now, we're going to talk a little bit about V, the final battle. Now, that was a 3-part miniseries, so you're looking at like 6 hours. That was, I believe, that aired Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Maybe a split different days. I can't remember. It's been a while. That was, I think, 84. That one would have came out. But yeah, now I'm talking about V, the final battle. So like now going into the final battle, everyone knows the visitors are bad news. Well, not everyone. There's still a lot of people that think they're good guys. But the resistance, they figured out they got these water plants set up everywhere. Like I said, they're draining our oceans. They're draining us dry. They've got plants. Now they've got even processing plants, like a packing house, where they're just bringing in humans for food. So the resistance, they're going to stop this. They can't let this happen. Now Mike is fully with Julian. They lead some assaults against these places in the beginning, but things just don't work out too well for him. So Mike's got to rely a lot on like Martin and his fifth column people who keep kind of giving him the rundown of what's going on. And they get the idea to expose John on live TV. So they go balls to the walls, interrupt this live broadcast, take over everything. They have the feed hacked to where no one can cut it. Julia goes in, she grabs John, just got him hostage. They're not who you think we are. She rips his skin right off, and the whole world sees he's an alien. Now they try to get away. Julia gets caught, and of course the visitors just say, hey, this was some shabby thing by the resistance, and most of the public just believes them. And Julia, Diana keeps trying to brainwash her in this like weird like chamber, but it looks like Mike comes to rescue her, but they gun him down. So that's like a definite holy shit moment. But it turns out it's not really Mike. It's just another lizard. That's when Diana figures out that he's got help on the ship with the fifth column. She just can't figure out who. But while that's going on, they're trying to bring Julia back here to our planet from the mothership, and the resistance, now they save her. Mike has some hot sex with her, and they don't trust her at first. But she's like, no, I got it. I haven't been brainwashed. I'm going to help you lead an assault with these new weapons we got, and we're going to blow up this water plant. And they do. They succeed, which makes Diana even madder. And so they figure, all right, well, we're just going to say we found this kid, which is Donovan's kid who's been missing. They said, hey, we'll give you your kid back, but you got to come on board, which he does. And so she tortures him, makes him say, who's been helping you? And, he's got truth serum in him from another world. So he gives up Martin, who, in a nice little shootout there, they managed to escape. And now, while this is all going on, Robin, our pregnant girl, actually finally gives birth to 2 babies, a human baby who, unfortunately dies after you see its lizard tongue. But there's it dies a little later, I'm sorry. But then she gives birth to another baby, which is this really creepy looking alien. Now I'm going to stop there because I'm going to take into consideration maybe there's some people out there that haven't seen this. It doesn't stream anywhere to my knowledge. I mean, it's possible you can find it maybe on a Tubi or Pluto or something, but it has been re-released in Blu-ray. The original miniseries you can get on Blu-ray. You can get the final battle on Blu-ray. They look amazing. And then like I said, I'm not going to go into too much detail, but the final battle wasn't really Kenneth Johnson's vision. You know, they up the action. They bring in Michael Ironside. He's the one that has like these bullets that can pierce the lizard's skin. And the visitors all kind of talk like this. So they end up getting like little clips to make themselves talk like that. Now, keep all this in mind. And it does lead to the big conclusion. Very, very watched conclusion. Very satisfying conclusion. But the network knew they had money. So, spoiler, we do defeat the visitors. I'm not going to tell you how. I'm not going to go in detail. I'm not going to tell you anything about really the final 2 hours of movie. The final battle, part 3, basically. But it does end, I'll give you this spoiler, Diana gets away. Because at the end of the final battle, we learn there's going to be V, the series. And V, the series brings back, in the beginning, the original cast. And, it picks up the events that take place after the movie. And it's not bad. I actually like it. It's a lot of fun. The problem is its budget was not very high, especially for what it was trying to do. So anytime you see like a dogfight scene with these ships or any big action scenes or battle, it's just stock footage left over from the miniseries that well, it's not even leftover footage. It is the footage you already watched in the movies. They just keep splicing it in. I don't know how many times I see the visitor's ship do a freaking 360 in the air. It's all just re-edited stuff. People kept leaving the show. Like Michael Ironside was like, I'm a movie star. I'm not keep doing this TV show. He's gone. There's one episode in particular I can remember, Elias, who I really liked. Forgive me for not remembering his real name. He also played Omar White in Oz. Him and Willie, that's Robert Englund, they go to some type of plant somewhere, and all at once he just gets obliterated. Blown up. End of Elias. Don't see him anymore. You don't see anybody anymore. Julie stayed. Mark Singer, of course, Donovan stayed. They kept, Diana stayed through the whole thing. Everything, even the baby that they had, who does grow up to be an adult overnight, the mom even leaves. My daughter all at once went from, I don't know, she aged rapidly even in the show. Well, she went from 5 to 28. Time for me to leave, so it was really a mess. It was a fun show. I don't want to say anything bad because I really liked it. It was a fun show. And while this was going on, the marketing department was really in full force. There was V trading cards, which I still have. There was, I think, like I said in the beginning, some toys, some guns. Never a huge thing. But then DC Comics started making V the comic. And it was really good because in a comic book, you don't have budget restraints. So you could do all these people, you could have the big battles. And it's kind of taken place it takes place after the movie, but before, per se, the series starts. Because we have all the characters here, they get split off into different things. It ran for 18 issues, I believe. Could be 17, I think 18. I do have all of them. They're in a box actually right in front of me. I'm kind of pointing to them. And it was really good, and it was a pretty decent seller. It kept the V continuity because at the time there were also a series of novels, but the novels did not focus on the characters we knew. It was like different, like here's the London-based resistance, here's a Midwest resistance, like that. And it was a whole series of books. I read a few of them, but I really liked the characters that I knew and watched, and when they didn't have them, I just didn't take much interest. But the comic had all the characters. I really liked it. You can pick them up. Finding them might be, I don't want to say a challenge. They're not really worth anything. Most people like me that have them are going to kind of hang on to them, kind of like a Sledgehammer comic. Sledgehammer episode coming soon. And, I love the V comic. It was great. You could pick up the whole collection at a very reasonable price. Just kind of be on the hunt for it. I recommend it highly. Well, now, as the comic was going on, like I said, there was no continuity in the DC universe per se, but plenty of continuity within the shows. The show was finally like, I don't know if we're coming back. But in classic stupidity back then, the show ended on a cliffhanger. Had you cut out that last 45 seconds of episode, it wouldn't have had a cliffhanger. Probably would have had an ending. But they left it in a cliffhanger, hoping it would come back. Guess what? It didn't. Well, DC was like, hey, I tell you what, we'll start just printing out what was going to happen. We'll just make the comics, you know, it's going to take place now. And they were going to continue the story. It didn't happen either. Comics weren't exactly selling hot because the show wasn't exactly hot. So, you know, it crashed and burned. I mean, this hot miniseries really crashed and burned, but it was so much fun. They were trying to relaunch it forever. They finally did. Um, the less said about that, the better. I know the show had fans. I didn't hate it, but I was not a huge fan. Pick it up, watch it. That one's probably streaming. Kenneth Johnson's been trying to get a movie with his grand vision together for 20 years. I don't know, maybe longer. Every few years you hear that something has transpired and we're going to finally see it. I think it's been since 2018. We were going to finally see this movie, 3 movies about V. That didn't happen, but there's no denying V is amazing. Independence Day is borrowed from it heavily. They admit that in the commentary. They borrowed from it heavily, and Independence Day is one hell of a good movie. V took a lot of inspiration from War of the Worlds, and there's nothing wrong with it. That's classic science fiction. V is amazing. You know, I've shown you a lot of clips. I've shown you some pictures. I would really hope you would check it out. Check out V, V the Final Battle. Even check out V the series because it is a lot of fun. That's only on DVD currently. It has not gotten a Blu-ray yet. And of course, read the V comic books because they were some pretty kick-ass comics too. It might be a little tricky to find them all, but it's not going to break the bank by any means. That was V. Basically a story that was all euphemisms about the Nazis, World War II, Jewish people hiding, everything, taken to another level with reptilian aliens. I'm not going to tell you how it ends, although like I said, we do beat them, but you know, things come back. But it's a very good episode. It's a very clever plan. I'm going to assume most people have seen this, but just in case you haven't, I'm not going to reveal the ending, but I definitely want you to check it out. I also want you to leave a comment. Tell me if you were a big fan, not only the movies, I also know, did you read the comics and did you like the show? That's the key, because I personally enjoyed the show, but a lot of people crapped on it. But that is V, from television to comics. I hope you like this. Please give me a like and subscribe, and we'll see you soon.